Marlene here from Uniquely Ella. Welcome to my channel. If you're new and you've never seen any of my videos and you like what you see, I would love a thumbs up. And if you can follow me, I would greatly appreciate it. But I really post almost every day. I post on my Instagram, which is also linked underneath. And if you want to follow me there to find out what I'm doing every day, that's where I'm at every single day. So I'm glad you're here today, and I hope I can inspire you a little bit. Maybe you see something that you like and you want to use in one of your projects. I'm on a roll with these fall projects. I love fall colors. I just love fall. I think my husband says that I'm tied with fall and spring, but I like spring because of the garden, but I love fall because of the colors. So let's get started with this little project. I'm going to try to go over it fast. It's just a little flip through. I can't show you how I went step by step because I didn't film it, but I think I've shared with you these tri-folder, I call them tri-envelope little, they're not journals, but they're just little ephemera holders type of thing. And I think I've shared with you before last year that I found a box of these envelopes. I found it in a garage sale or something, and the minute I saw them, I'm like, oh my god, I could do something with this. I have no idea what. But what I like to do with them, and I like to turn them into, I'm sure there's got to be other things I can do with them, but for some reason I found this pattern that I like to do that with them. And what I do with the envelopes is that I'll prep a few of them and I'll have them ready. And what I started doing is that I'm going to this is the back. This is how I do the back. But what I'm doing is that I'm kind of doing them in what I'm calling like a neutral color. That way if I want to do one for Valentine or this is a project that does take a lot of time because, I don't know, I just enjoy tucking everything in so much. But these are some neutral ones that I made. So I start out like that. And then it'll have, you know, I ink all the edges. Then of course I cover all this. But I can either do a little tuck here, or I can do a tuck up here. This can go here, or here, or here, wherever I want. So I made some neutral ones that are pretty much kind of ready for any season. I get this one. Actually, you're not going to see any of this. Wait till you see how I, you know, stuff it with all kinds of goodies that you don't see. The main thing you see, well, not really. I'll show you. You don't see anything of the little trifold itself. But anyway, this like inspires me because I don't have like a blank canvas. This is actually what I do also with my my journals that I use for like just my private journals that I use for art and stuff that I just need to plop something on a page just so that it's not a blank page, because I can't makes my head blank. But if I got something, even if it's just a little piece of paper, I can go on from there. So that's basically what I do this, just to get a little jump start. And I have a few of these started already. But anywho, let me show you what I did for the fall. I created, again, I'm using, I think I showed you on a video where I like so in love with this little dangle, like totally in love. I don't know, I just find it so dainty and cute. And then also this pom-poms, it's like, you know, you get, I don't know, you just become obsessed with something and you use it all the time. I don't have a whole lot left, so I just used it on this little flap. And then I decided to close the little folder with this meshy. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so in love with this material. I think I found it junking around. I found a little bit of it, and it's almost like, I don't want to say it's pantyhose material because it's not. It was like on a bolt thing, but I just love that cream. I could never tea dye anything to come out exactly that color if I wanted to. And I like the fact that it's stretchy. I don't know, I just love it. It's got body to it. I love it. So I think you're going to be seeing a lot of me using this, you know, tying a lot of my projects with that or sneaking it in wherever I can. So let's get started. I think I'm going to do this one. They're the same. It's just that the There's a little tag here. I'll show you that in a minute. The little video that I'm going to insert, either I'm going to insert it before or after this video, I'm not sure. I talk a little bit about these wax seals. I was going to do like a step-by-step, but I don't know what happened to the other clips. But this one has that one. And then this one has this one that is a little bit more yellow. The seal is more of a little yellow, and then the little dangle is white. So let's get started. For the closure, like I said, I tie this up, and then I have these cute little pins in green. They're so pretty. Let me see if I can bring it up close so you can see it. They're really, really pretty. These are not vintage, but they sure do look vintage. And then I had this little spray, I just kind of glued it. I'll show you. I've had that forever, and I love it. It was in some kind of arrangement or something. So here we go. This is so pretty. This can even be like a little conversation piece on top of a table, or you can write your fall notes for projects or whatever. I'm always writing, so okay, so the little pin comes off, and then it's just a little bow, so we'll take it off. And then in the front we have this image, which I love her dress. I love everything about this image. This is also from this is from last year's kit, I think, last year's fall kit. I'm not sure, but I'll tag him on the bottom. And then I just made a little journaling This envelope is also from one of my collections. I'm not going to open it up because there's lots of goodies in there and I don't want to show them all. But what I did is that I tuck that little spray thing here, or sprig, or however you call that. A little seam binding, sari silk. That goes like that. So you can see a little bit of the green like that. And these were the tags. I had so much fun creating these journaling spots. That little clip video that I'm going to put, I'll talk a little bit more about these, but I did all kinds of layering in there. Let me see if I can bring it up close so you can see it. There's all kinds of tickets and a little rosette back here, and then just little fibers and things that I had lying around. Just kind of squished them all in there. And yeah, I love how these turned out. So I have that there, kind of like a focal point, but not a focal point because there's so much going on this cover. This is just this is a printable. I'm going to list everyone's collection that I use. You can also use this as a floating. I believe this might be Raindrop Lila. I'm going to list the people that I used underneath. Look at this, how pretty. I'm not sure who this is, so I'm not going to name it because I could probably get the wrong person. But look how pretty that is. And this is a music sheet. This is a background page from my fall digital this year, and I'm like in love with this background page. I love that all the seals and everything was like I just kind of blew it out. I love it. That goes here. Okay, so this is the Trifold itself, and this is what it looks like when the presentation piece is gone. I have a little bit of, this is silk, a little bit of layering going on down here. And then here I have a little tuck, a little envelope that's facing the other way. And then here in the front I just decided to put a little, and I love this paper, so pretty. This is also from something I think I did last year. So when you open her up like that, there's a little tuck here. Then you open her up like that, and there's a tuck here and here, and then there's something floating. I'm not going to show everything because I don't want, let me just put this like in some kind of order. I don't want the person that gets it to, see everything already. But here in this little tuck, I have the cutest little, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like the cutest little leaf. Wait a minute, I don't think you can see it. Let me show you this little leaf because I'm like so in love with it. It's so cute. It's like this little tiny little leaf that I found that I just love, 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 love. So she's hanging from this little rusted little paper clip. And then this is the little envelope that's underneath it that you can see the flap on this side. It's that little envelope. And this envelope is part of this collection that I think it's last year's collection. And it's right back there, and there's little goodies in there. And then this little this is from a ribbon that a friend of mine just gave me, a whole bunch, and I'm like in love with this, and I don't know how to use it or where to use it. It's really a ribbon, but I ended up fussy cutting it so I can spread it around a little bit. And then in this tuck right here, I have some tickets, just some little journaling, little pieces. You can journal in the back. And then here I made out of some of these are also on the bottom of one of my little digitals. I just made a little notebooky looky thingy. So I just tuck that in. You can also type pictures or your own private notes or whatever you like. Then in the center I made this little floating little cluster. Like I said, I'm not going to open all of it. I have another background page of mine that I'm like in love with these background pages. I think this is from this year's Ephemera fall kit. And this is the background page for it. And I am like in love with this background page. And then this is I think that's a digital. These are two little, let me see if I'll just take it apart, but I'm not going to open the envelopes. I just have a little bit of this ribbon tied in here, this little stretchy. And then I have, well, I made this little journaling, which I like this image so much. I use it on a larger image, was the cover of a little journal I just did not too long ago. But I like the little image so much that I have it in 2 sizes. So I decided to use it here in top of this little cluster. It's just one envelope here. Can you see? And then another envelope back here. And then here we have these little file folders that I love with some more goodies in here. Just some little goodies to write secret notes to yourself. So that goes there like that. Okay, let me show you. Up here, I created a little tuck out of this little digital. I think this is in my last collection too. Also this. Pretty much a lot of this, I would say 90% of it is from my latest collection. I just wanted to use it. Sometimes I spend time designing it and taking my time, and by the time I get to use it, the season's over. I said, no, I'm going to, design so that I can, early on, so I can use it. So I use this as a little tuck, and then here I just have a little journaling card with a little velvet ribbon. Oh, I love velvet. This little journaling little leaf is also from that. And some more cute little ephemera. So that just tucks right here like that. And then here in this tuck right here, I have some, this is like a little receipt. This is a printable. I love this color. So there's plenty of room in the back. This is my favorite collage page from this fall's collage kit. I am in love with this page, and I think it's because of the roses. So I just had to sneak it in there somehow, and I love it. And this pretty image is also in that kit. And I found this really nice book. It's called The Queen of France, and I love it. And this is from Boho Daydreams. A little piece of her lace. I think she's so pretty. And then here we have one of my envelopes here. This is from last year's kit. Then we have a pocket here. And this is full of goodies. So this little envelope here, I'm not going to really take out everything, but it's full of goodies in here. Just all kinds of little goodies. I'm not going to take it out because there's more stuff in there, and I want to leave some things as a surprise. This tag, I'm like obsessed with this little dangle. It's so pretty. This is from this year's collection. And I love that little dangle. That goes in there. And I always like to use leaves and feathers for some reason on my fall projects. So I have a little leaf here tucked in. I have this little seal thing that I like so much that I used it in this envelope. I love that image, and you can fold the image. It's just a pretty image. So this one's more in the orange and browns. I have these two, so all of this kind of matches. That goes in there. I have a feather here. Oh, I love this feather. Then I have another leaf. I have her again. I love her. I used her on another project because I love that image so much. It's so pretty. And then this is another one of my leaves. And that just tucks right here. I gotta put it more or less where I think it goes. Here I have two journaling cards. Another pretty lady that's part of this kit. Just get that back in there. And I was looking for this bead because I knew I had it. And I wanted to match these colors with that bead. I think she's beautiful. And then there's a little bit of the orange. I love that. And this is also from Boho Daydreams. And she goes right behind the little cabinet cards. And then here I have a postcard. And I'm introducing a little bit more of the yellow. I just put a little bit of fabric I had left over. And this image, I think this is from last year. I love that image. I put a little bit of the faux tape. And then finally I have just some bigger things back here. I have, this is how I cover the back. I have some digitals back here. I love that. I love this one. So pretty. You can also really turn these into a your own little journal, which is what I kind of thought I had in mind to do. Kind of sew in the center, put them all together, sew in the center, add some book pages. But I said, you know what? I'm just going to insert them in, and then you do what you like with them. And then another journaling card. This one's a little bigger. And that's it. That's it. I don't know what I'm calling these. I'm calling them the Trifold ephemera holders. That's what I'm calling these. And like, as you can see, they're loaded. And I had so much fun picking everything and try to stay within the orange, yellow, and green colors. So the inspiration for these were actually, believe it or not, these seals were the inspiration for this. So I hope you like them. They are going to be listed. I don't know if by the time I go up, you know, I put the video up, they're gone. But I only have 2 of them. And I will be listing them in my Etsy store. So I hope you found a little inspiration. You don't have to make them this big. You can make them smaller. You can pretty much do whatever you like. If you do order these, or if you place an order with me, any kind of order, and you want me to insert a few of these so that you can do your own or use them for something else, let me know and I will gladly gift them to you. But just make sure you let me know in the comments over at the Etsy store. Okay, guys, I hope you like my little trifold project from a holder. And I will see you in the next video. God bless. Bye-bye.